How many hours a week are you working on your business compared to your schoolwork?
I should be going to more of my classes. I'm not going to lie. I am the type of person who wants to do a little bit of everything. So it might be a little bit tricky for me to kind of see how much of my time and energy I should devote to which area.
I am here with Sandra Mo, who's very, very kindly agreed to join us for our customer showcase interview. Thank you very much, Sandra. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Bridget.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So my name is Sandra. I'm currently a student in my third year of post-secondary education in Toronto at Toronto Metropolitan University. My program is creative industries. It's a little bit different in a sense where it's half in the creative arts and half in business and entrepreneurship. And aside from that, I'm also a small business owner. So coming up a little bit over 4 years now, I've been doing lash extensions as a lash extension artist and stylist where I provide unique set customized for all my clients to help accentuate their own beauty.
What motivates you? How did you get into doing lash extensions for people?
It actually started during my first year of high school, so a little while ago, where everybody, all my friends around me were getting into beauty, new products, and eyelashes were the next great thing. So I tried to get into it and I got a lash extension kit from Walmart. And I put them on myself. I got so many compliments. Everyone was asking me if I could help them with it. But it ended up actually taking off a lot of my natural eyelashes. So in a week's time, I had to go back and tell everybody, like,
Mhm.
wait, guys, trust me, this is not the right way to do it. And I went down a little rabbit hole researching more about eyelash extensions and kind of the procedure that way. And I kind of fell in love with it and found out ways to get certified and started practicing from then on.
And I heard you tell me earlier that you actually used to practice on your younger brother. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, it was kind of the worst timing for us in Toronto, at least. Our quarantine, its official start was March 2020. So I got certified a month beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah, so very grateful for my family that was able to
so
help support me and also let me practice on them.
and how old were you, Sandra? How old when you launched this?
I was 15 when I started
Wow.
doing lash extensions.
How did you ease yourself into actually running a business, not just having a hobby, if you like?
When I started doing eyelash extensions, I kind of fell in love with the connection part of it all, the connection aspect, where I really get to meet and get to know my clients as well. So over time, it was really rewarding when my clients would come back to me every few weeks to get their fills for their extensions, and we would get to catch up. I would ask them about life updates, and they would say stuff to me like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you remember that," and it's just really rewarding.
But do you feel like you've had to grow up quite a bit quite quickly because, you had to take responsibility for money and accountancy and, all your earnings and your customers and your obligation? I know you use You Can Book Me to manage your time. You must be very well organized for a young person launching that.
Definitely was trying to be at that time. It was not up to par as right now, where I'm able to have resources like You Can Book Me to help out with everything. But very luckily enough, a lot of my family members were very creative as well. So I've learned a lot from my parents who also own their own business growing up as clothing and garment manufacturers. So I got to help out from a really young age and kind of learning about just the world of business behind the scenes in a very hands-on way, I would say.
Do you run your business with a kind of aim to grow it, add more clients, maybe take on a second stylist or person who can do your job? Or do you keep it as a kind of steady source of income whilst you're doing your studies? Because you're obviously doing a lot there. So you've done a degree or doing your qualifications on top of working for clients. How do you manage that?
I do hope to kind of expand a little bit more to maybe get into the field of education, where I could also be the one to provide materials and kind of learn more about the theory and everything about eyelash extensions. Because a lot of the time, what I would hear, like feedback wise, to where some of my clients, they've had experiences with eyelash extensions in the past where they would say they would not have the greatest experiences or they never had a lash artist that really paid attention to different details. So just hearing that and knowing how passionate I am about what I do, just seeing a future in being the one to kind of teach about those things is really exciting for me.
What keeps you up at night? What are the tensions about running a business the way you do?
The time management of it all was very tricky to handle at first. And back when I was starting, it was kind of just on the side. It was something that I love to do for fun. But I think I always end up kind of holding myself back a bit and not really pushing myself to really do as much. And I know now in the city, there's a lot of lash extension artists. Their work is amazing and they host little events here and there. And I've been trying to go to a few whenever I have time to as well. So that's been amazing just to connect with the community.
Okay, so the community is very generous and open, welcoming, and everybody's got new ideas. Is it something that you can learn from as a way of applying your art?
Yeah, it's actually amazing. I mostly run on the Instagram platform, and everyone on there, they're so sweet. And they would always sometimes like personal message me asking for advice, or I would go to them for advice. And it just feels very welcoming. We would always like compliment each other on like and comment on the post and everything. So it just feels very like warm and welcoming.
So, how much time have you spent on your You Can Book Me? Tell me a little bit about that.
When I first was taking appointments, it was a Google form, was not the most idealistic format to receive appointment bookings. So at that point, I was like, I need to do a little bit of research of what platform would be best. And I stumbled across You Can Book Me. I forgot how, but I think it was one of the like the Google searches that came up. And I went through every single link on the first page and I just fell in love with the user interface on this platform. It just started off that way. And yeah, ever since then, I was just trying to learn how to use everything. And every time I had a new feature, I would always get great positive feedback. So that was really amazing. Like, ever since I moved off of university, I would have kind of two locations to book from. So that was a little tricky. So just, I think about 2 months ago, I was able to use the team feature to make it two different locations for appointments. And the amount of personal messages I got from all my clients just saying, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this was just so overwhelmingly positive.
What are the other software tools that you really rely on to run your business?
Yeah, I also use Square as well. So that's been really great for helping me keep track of all the different types of services I offer and also the finances throughout the whole year as well. On top of that, the Google Calendar has been really amazing.
How many hours a week are you working on your business compared to your schoolwork?
I should be going to more of my classes. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are like more, I guess, asynchronous, so that's a little bit easier to tackle on my own as well. But it definitely took a little bit of time to really learn how to use my own school's like visual planner to build out my schedule for classes. And as soon as I was able to get a grasp of that, I started learning how to just kind of combine all of my classes into a set amount of days. So I have more time to work as well. So that's been really great. But I would say for lashes each week, I'd probably give it about like 15 to 20 hours of my time per week.
Mm.
So it's not too bad aside from that. So it does give me a little bit of time to kind of work on my own personal projects or even to focus on school.
When you graduate, Sandra, what will you do? Will you want to double down on your business or will you want to take your qualification into another area of work?
I am the type of person who wants to do a little bit of everything. So it might be a little bit tricky for me to kind of see how much of my time and energy I should devote to which area. But I definitely want to be doing something hands-on. And I'm really glad that throughout school as well, I have lashes as something where I can pour my passion into that I can be very hands-on with. And in the future, hopefully I can continue having a good mix of both. I don't want to really give either one of them up.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I've learned so much about what you do. I've looked at your You Can Book Me page. It just looks amazing. People are obviously lucky to have you take care of them and their lashes. And learning about your experience as a business owner, you've come a long way in a short period of time. Very impressive.
And thank you so much for giving me a space to share and kind of ramble on about everything.
Not at all. I love it. I love it. Thanks very much, Sandra. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.